Here's the top 3 things that you need to know to acquire a business loan coming from someone who's funded over $500 million to small businesses. The purpose of this video is that people come to us and they want to get the best deal possible for their business, but in reality, they're just gonna get the deal that they qualify for. The 3 points are gonna be broken down as follows. The first is gonna be just the general financials and underwrite of your file. What are we looking for? Number 2 is trying to find someone who's trusted, who's ethical, and who's gonna have your best interest in mind. Number 3 is timing. We wanna ensure that you have the proper timing when you actually perform your application. That way you can get the best deal for you and your business. So let's preface with the basics. You need a business bank account in order to acquire business funding. Although you might have an LLC and you might be collecting cash, you need to make sure that that cash is actually being cycled through a physical business bank account attached to an EIN, or else you most likely will be auto declined from any type of funding product that takes place. The next thing is going to be time in business. The longer the time in business, the less risk you have as a business owner. So if you're going to be applying for some type of business funding at the very beginning of your entrepreneurial journey, you can expect that rates, terms will not be as favorable as someone who's been around for 10 plus years. But that doesn't mean that with certainty, you can't get what you're looking for. It just means that you can expect that there's more risk associated with you and your business. The next thing we want to talk about is current debt situation. Depending on what debt you already have, whether it's secured or unsecured, it's gonna build this profile that we like to look at called leverage. How much of your revenue is going towards debt payments? And is your profit margins going to be able to overcome the amount of leverage that you have? So if you have multiple positions and you're looking to refinance or getting out of that, it's gonna be a little bit more technical than someone who's coming to get their first position. Moreover, the first position is typically going to be the best price deal. As you continuously borrow more and more funding, the lenders are taking more risk by coming in first, second, third, fourth position with their rights to collect, which means that your terms will most likely get shorter, your dollar amounts may get smaller, and your interest could get slightly higher. If you've already put yourself in a position where you have multiple loans, there's no problem. You need to work with a specialist like myself in order to ensure that we can clean up the file, but there might be 1 or 2 more steps than someone who's coming with absolutely no debt with their profile currently. Next up is going to be credit score. This is going to be a ranking system as to how well you pay back current financial obligations. The better your credit score means you've had financial obligations and you've been paying them back correctly and on time for a longer period of time. Typically speaking, the credit score is not going to be the most indicative factor of whether or not you'll get financing, but it will increase your ability to get longer terms and lower rates. So the better credit score you have, most likely you're going to end up getting a better deal. And so if you're in a position where you do not need funds immediately, it might be a good call to action for you to go take a peek at your credit score and try to get that rebuilt up to a point that's as high as you can do within the immediate future. As to which we also have credit repair services and credit enhancement services that you can use to end up getting the exact type of lending product that you're looking for. This brings me to point number 2, and this is going to be the ethics that comes down to the person that you're working with. This industry is a very new industry, so there's going to be a lot of people cold calling or sending out broad solicitations or emails or texts, and everyone's going to tell you you're pre-approved. But let's make sure that we understand what a pre-approval means. It means prior to your approval, we think we can get you this amount. It's purely an estimate. So if you do not see something with a contract's going to be 10 plus pages of a lot of legal jargon, it most likely means it's not a hard approval, regardless of what that sales representative may tell you over the phone. It's imperative that when you're working with a potential person that has cold called you or somewhere that you've applied to online, you look at their Trustpilot, Better Business Bureau, you look at their reviews, you look at their presence when it comes to Google and to Facebook. You don't need a 5-star out of 5-star company, you just need a company that stands behind their product, and good reviews always helps as well. So when it comes to working with a broker, you have to keep in mind not only hopefully that their reviews are good, but you never have to take product A to obtain product B. And if a broker is telling you you need to take a high interest unsecured short-term loan, to acquire a long-term loan, this is something that's a dead no-no. This person is trying to make a big commission check on the first product. You can take multiple positions. There's been occasions as to which clients will take higher interest rate, shorter term money while they're in the process of taking or trying to get bank loans, and that's okay, but they are not hinged on each other. If a broker tells you you have to take product A to get product B, it is an immediate red flag that they are trying to make a high ticket commission, and it's going to be an extremely unethical position that you're going to find yourself in a position where you might not have that second loan coming your way. So let's recap. You can have multiple positions and you can be working on short-term, higher interest rate loans while you're also trying to acquire long-term bank financing, but you do not ever have to take loan A to obtain loan B. And if your broker is telling you you have to take something to get to this dreamland product, it's an immediate red flag and you need to stop doing business with that broker. Lastly is going to be timing. If you're a seasonal business and you're about to go into your slow season, you need to apply for that loan prior to your slow season beginning, because if we see a dip in revenue, it's going to affect your ability to acquire financing negatively. Next, maybe you have obligations or maybe you have other loan payments. If your bank account goes negative, then that's also going to be grounds that we could terminate the potential offer that we have for you. So regardless of how good you are at your particular craft, you need to make sure that you're being intimate with your either accounting team or the bank statements yourself, because you want to apply for these products prior to anything that could look as a demerit or negative on your lending profile. So let's wrap this up by reviewing these three segments. Number one is going to be, what does the financials look like? What does your underwrite look like? Number two is going to be making sure that you find an ethical broker. And number three is make sure that you have proper timing with your application. We want to help you in any way that we can, and we like to take the position as more of a financial advisor. We offer services that are much broader than just debt servicing. We do deals that involve equity. We do bookkeeping services, credit repair services, credit card processing services. We try our best to fit the business profile in any way that makes you better. And we want to make sure that you guys have as many resources as possible. So if you need to apply for a loan now, click the link below. If you have any additional questions as to how you can acquire the proper financing product for yourself, put it in the comments. We would love to release more content for you.